Hi, P4. Welcome back to English lesson today. You will learn about the Mona Lisa in Unit 8, Lesson 5. While you are watching this video, please open your learner's book on pages 118 to 120. You will be able to read a long text, which is about a theft. And it is also related to this famous painting that you now are looking at. Okay, before we study what happened about a theft of Mona Lisa, the famous painting that you are looking at now, have you ever seen this painting? Maybe Googling or you from Google because you're Googling it, or maybe also from newspaper or storybook. If you like reading, I probably guess that you know this famous painting is Mona Lisa. Maybe also some of you can answer who painted it. Okay, and let's check. So the Mona Lisa was painted by Leonardo da Vinci. I think the name is not unusual for you. It is famous, of course, and it is a painting of Lisa Gherardini Giocondo. So this is the real name of Mona Lisa. Okay. And check now the fact file of Mona Lisa. So the painter name is Leonardo, and the date it was painted from 1503 to 1506, so it means it took 3 years. And the woman's real name is Lisa Gherardini. And the famous painting is now still on display in Le Louvre, Paris Museum. And it is since 1804. Now, you can check your learner's book also while we move to the reading section. So this is the fact file of the Mona Lisa. So on August 21st, 1911, Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa, one of the most famous paintings in the world, was stolen off the wall of the Le Louvre famous museum in Paris, France. It was such an unthinkable crime that the Mona Lisa wasn't even noticed missing until the following day. Who would steal such a famous painting? Why did they do it? Was the Mona Lisa lost forever? On Tuesday, August 22nd, 1911, Berrude, a painter who was visiting the Louvre, walked into the Salon Carré where the Mona Lisa had been on display for 5 years. But on the wall where the Mona Lisa used to be, there was a blank space. So in paragraph 1, as you can see here, this is the Mona Lisa fact file. And the second one is introduction of the theft story. Okay, so the Mona Lisa was stolen on August 21st. Okay, and then in this case, in this text, there's no there's no yet. Okay, maybe the identification of the thief. Now let's check the complete story about the Mona Lisa theft. Okay, this is the long text that you have ever had, so please have good concentration, okay, and try to remember some important things, so later when we discuss the questions, you can directly answer it, at least you can guess. Okay, now move to page 119. The Paris police were called, and shortly after midday, about 60 investigators were sent to the Louvre Museum to look into the crime. They closed the museum and continued the search. The Louvre was closed for a whole week, remember, for a whole week to help the investigation. When it was reopened, a line of people came to stare at the empty space on the wall where the Mona Lisa had once hung. No one could believe that someone could get away with this crime so easily. Investigators began to interview guards and workers to find out when the Mona Lisa went missing. But because no one had broken into the museum when it was closed. Okay, so I think it went difficult. One worker remembers seeing the painting. Okay, we had the eyewitness. One worker remembers seeing the painting around 7 o'clock on Monday morning, the day before it was discovered missing. But noticed it had gone when he walked by the salon carry an hour later. He thought that a museum official had moved it. Okay, this is the introduction for you. Okay, now let's check again the story deeper. Okay. Further research discovered that the usual guard in the salon carry was at home because one of his children was ill, and his replacement left his post for a few minutes around 8 o'clock. Investigators thought someone had made off with the painting between 7 to and 8:30 on Monday morning. Investigators interviewed all the workers in the Louvre, and famous fingerprint experts looked for clues too, but they couldn't find the thief. Okay, next paragraph. 2 years later, the thief made contact. After 2 years, he contacted a well-known antique dealer named Alfredo Gary. He said he had stolen Mona Lisa and would sell it to him for $500,000 lire. So lire is an Italian currency at that time. Gary agreed to pay the price and arranged to meet the thief in his hotel room the next day. The thief opened a wooden trunk. He took out some old shoes, a pair of trousers, and a shirt. Then he removed a false bottom, and there was the Mona Lisa. Wow, it was quite clever to hide the Mona Lisa, right? Okay, next. This is the last one. Gary recognized the Louvre stamp on the back of the painting. This was the real Mona Lisa, and Gary left the hotel and called the police. The thief Vincenzo Perugia was arrested and locked up. The story of the theft was much simpler than many people thought. Vincenzo Perugia, born in Italy, had worked in Paris at the Louvre in 1908. Perugia had walked into the museum, noticed the salon carry was empty, grabbed the Mona Lisa, gone to the staircase, removed the painting from its frame, and ran off with the Mona Lisa under his painter's smoke. Did you imagine that would happen? This would happen? Okay. Okay, so who stole the Mona Lisa? The thief name is Vincenzo Perugia, and at least we got a fact file about him. Okay, he had ever worked in Paris at the Louvre in 1908. Yeah, and Perugia had walked into the museum because he noticed the salon carry empty. He grabbed the Mona Lisa and gone to the staircase, and he removed the painting from its frame. Okay. When we answer these questions, this also help us to comprehend more the story is about, because it's a quite long, and also it is not really easy passage, because it's about a theft, and there's also chronological of the story that we need to remember. Okay, now at least we try to answer one by one, and I also want you to have answer also in your learner's book. When did they notice that the Mona Lisa wasn't there? When did they notice? Okay, nah, here it is. Yeah, okay. It says that one worker remembers seeing the painting around 7 o'clock on Monday morning, okay, before it was discovered missing. Okay, it can be the answer. The second one, how long had it been on display in the Louvre? I think before it's mentioned, right? It's about how many? I think 5 years. Yes. Where the Mona Lisa had been on display for 5 years. This is the fact file of Mona Lisa. When were investigators called the museum? When were investigators called to the museum? Okay, shortly after midday, right? 16 investigators were called after midday. Next, how long was the museum closed for? This one, the Louvre was closed for a whole week to help the investigation. And what did visitors do when the museum reopened? This one. Yes. A line of people came to stare at the empty space on the wall where the Mona Lisa had once hung. Okay, do you have the same answers like I did? Yes, the following day, or maybe you can mention the August 22. Yes, okay. Yes, 5 years, Tuesday, August 22, 22nd, and then a whole week, and then stare at the empty space on the wall. Okay, now let's move to another question. Okay, when did the thief make contact? He made contact after 2 years. They remember, right? Whom did he contact? An antique dealer named Alfredo Gary. How much money did he want? A half of million lire. Where was the Mona Lisa? Remember when he hid it, right? At the bottom of his wooden trunk. How did Gary know it was the real Mona Lisa? Because it has a stamp, right? Louvre stamp on the back of the painting. Yes. 2 years later, Alfredo Gary, half of million lire hidden in a wooden trunk. Yes. Okay, this is the summary that can help you remember the long story. So on 21st August 1911, Vincenzo Peruggia walked into the Louvre and stole the Mona Lisa. After that, the Paris police arrived at the museum shortly after midday, and the Louvre was closed for a whole week. Police investigators interviewed all the workers at the Louvre, and after 2 years with no contact, the thief made contact. And Alfredo Gary, a well-known antique dealer, arranged to meet the thief. And the thief wanted a $500,000 lire for the painting. And the Mona Lisa was in the bottom of wooden trunk. And Gary recognized the Louvre paint stamp of the back on the back of the painting. And Vincenzo Peruggia was arrested. Okay. This is the reading that you have today. I hope you keep reading the text so you will have good understanding before you can answer the questions. Thank you, P4. Keep on studying at home. Bye-bye.